Okay, fine. Fine, fine. I see that Zoom now has an AI companion down here. It updated as I was getting going today. I don't know what that means or what that is. But let's just talk about this Zoom thing that we're doing because I know for a while, like, I don't know if you know that I have a Sekhmet edge to me at times. Rawr. But like, fuck them. If they get to hear what we're doing, may they be so blessed. If they want to use this, may they be so blessed. Instead of engaging in the fear and like, oh, like I would like to not use this, but so far this technology has been the most beneficial for us, and may what we do create ripples that bless instead of us needing to hide ourselves in other places. So, I think that's just how I'm going to roll through this for a little bit. Deal? Deal. Um, okay. So let's just take a few moments. We're going to set our Djed. We're going to allow ourselves to arrive right the fuck here. With all eyes beginning to turn in. Yep, thank you. I want you to actively and presently and consciously and consensually release any cords, visions, anything that you're feeding that is outside of you right now. Nothing else exists except you. You are the shaman of this era. You are the god of this incarnation. You are who has been called here to lead. No one is going to show you how. So we turn to that inner knowing. We turn to that Ganusa that supports us. We turn to that throne of our sovereignty. We feed and we nurture the inner knowing because nothing else outside makes any goddamn sense. Hey, Dina, do you want to activate our Djed for us?
I am distracted.
Okay.
Thank you.
In this moment, I am distracted. There are pieces of me that are distracted. I was listening to Robert Edward Grant and Emily Fletcher, and can I tell you how many months, how many weeks I have shit on that podcast? And I'm like, no, no, no. So I just got to watch my ego like hanging out in her judgments. But the part that Emily said yesterday that was really lovely is instead of like, I'm distracted, there's a part of me that's distracted. And allowing all of us to take on, as the Sekhmets do, as the Hathors do, there's 12 different versions of Hathor. There's 14 versions of Sekhmet. So instead of like, I am distracted, thanks for the teaching, Dina, there's a part of me that is, that doesn't allow all of us to be in it. And I really kind of like that idea that like, yeah, I have a fierce side and I have a fucking mama side and I have a sassy side and I have a fucking judgy side. So I like this idea that we're allowed to be all of this instead of all of me is one thing. A part of me is, part of me judges the fuck out of Emily Fletcher. So cool. Sorno kurno kuku sikurni kiakiki. Okay, thanks for that. I'm happy to set a Djed. I love setting a Djed. Heard, heard, heard. So let's just begin to expand that Djed a bit. That central pillar through us, running up and down through the spine. Allowing it to lengthen, going all the way into the cosmos and going all the way, not just into the center of the earth, but how about through the earth? Thanks. Earth can't, yeah, that's interesting. She's like, the earth isn't our base. Kind of is, but kind of isn't. But today she's like, don't even let the earth be your base. Like, let that Djed of you move all the way through her. That will give her freedom and sovereignty as well. You're not rooted to her. You're not anchored to her. You're not dependent upon her. That will give her her freedom as you recognize that you are a galactic being, as is she. Ong Sa. Good. Allowing the energy of that Djed to move up and down. And allowing the size of your body to be exactly right for you today, to honor the divinity that you are, to honor the human that you are. As we go into root, Da, 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 that gold cube warming to the frequency of Da. Da, the choosing to take on form. Da, 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 Da. Rising up into the waters of Mu. Mu. That sacral Mu. The creativity, the passion, the lust, the desire, and also the karma. Mu. Mu. There's space for all of it. Mu. Mu. Finding where that ket, where that, I know they keep wanting to call it a diamond. That's funny. It's not a diamond. That triangle of fire. Ket. 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 Letting those fires catch. Ket. Ket. Rising up into the Sa. Taking that first breath as the God that you are, Sa. In the heart, activating that toroidal field of Sa. Sa. Relaxing into the godhood of you, into that pure droplet of divinity from the stars. Sa. 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 Make it sexy, baby. Sa. Sa. Rising up into high heart. Whatever your prayer of high heart is, we can always default to an Ubenim Nubit. Ubenim Nubit. Bless me with all the things I don't even know to ask for, Ubenim Nubit. Ubenim Nubit. Ubenim Nubit. Rising into that cosmic nest of the throat of Nifu. 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 Gives us presence of the now. Nifu. Nifu. Nothing else exists but the now. Nifu. And in the now I can always find joy. Nifu. Nifu. Watching how it affects your ears today feels important. Nifu. Nifu. Rising up into third eye. Rotating that pineal gland forward. Akasa. 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 Good, good. Pulsating here. Akasa. Akasa. And finally in the crown, that explodes out of you, the stability of your joy. Akasa. Sa. Akasa. Sa. Akasa. Sa. Akasa. Sa. Making sure that all of those are stacked on top of each other, that they're in alignment, same size, vibrating at the highest consciousness of you. Inviting you to be a bigger version of you. Akasa, sa. And if you'd like, do some Ong, your name, Sa. Ong, Andy, Sa. Ong, Andy, Sa. Ong, Andy, Sa. Ong, Andy, Sa. Lornu, ku'u, ku'u, sini, i. As we begin to move into our meditation today, from this place of activation, we consciously choose, okay, fine, to move into the inversion. Let's go heal the inversion today. So all of this part of you that we just turned on, I want you to flip it upside down, and we're going to go down. So maybe you're going to go down and you're going to find a different version of that oust. Going to find a different version of that Ganusa. Gonna go down even more, finding those inner fires of Ket. Finding that other Saw. Finding that other Nifu. Finding that other third eye Akasa. Finding the innermost reaches of the inverted Akasa, like a flipped upside down version of you. Let's just listen to this one today and see what he or she or they want to offer as we move into 22 minutes of our quiet. Thanks. If the inversion of it feels like too harsh of a word, play with the idea of the mirror version. Thank you. A reminder, you're not here to work today, you're here to receive, so we're staying in that place of yin. you've been this morning. Begin to invite you back into this living now, with the perfection of the all that is. You've been in this inversion or this mirrored Djed. Maybe you want to flip it back up. Maybe you want to build it back up. Bring them back into harmony, into knowingness. Let's do that with breath. Let's do that from one oust to another. Inhaling from the void and exhaling into the now. Into the Ganusa. Inhaling from the void and exhaling into the now. Ket. Inhaling, exhaling into total presence. With the Sa. Choosing to come back here. Choosing with your joy and free will to be here in this body, in this timeline, in this present reality that you create. The Nifu of the void into the Nifu of the now. Merging those nows for greater knowingness. Up into the third eye. And into the crown. Opening your eyes and making notes when you're ready. I'll be curious to hear of your experiences. It was certainly beyond what I was knowing, expecting, looking for today. Um, and I'll just share mine. I won't share mine, but I want to share kind of what happened so that anyone who's watching this later, or even if you're hearing it and you're like, oh, that's yeah. But it was the mirror of it. It was the inversion of it. And I would go and sit in each shenka and they would teach me things. And that was unexpected. In each of those shenkas, being able to find the vibration of it, the truth of it, the teaching of it, to inhabit that temple, very different than these. So for anybody who wants to play with that a little bit later, I think, well, more realms to open. And in that invitation, it was almost a different multi-dimensional aspect that is a source of power, teaching, knowing, allyship that I did not know was there. That's what I can say for myself this morning. Like, oh, I did not know that was there. Fucking cool. Thanks so much. And I had to come out a little early for myself to make notes because there was so much in there. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyone else care to share? Amy Janot. Hi.
I, yeah, it's interesting. As we were setting, doing the mirror Djeds you were talking of, or I don't, maybe I'm heavily entrenched in Scorpio energy. I don't know, but saw the tails or the spines of a scorpion, like kind of like align or overlay on top of the Djeds as they were running. I just, yeah, and that wasn't the entire time, it was just part of the time, but then amid colors of magenta and gold, and in between the magenta and gold, then I saw scorpions, why am I, yeah, scorpion figures overtake the guardians of a temple, but I wasn't recognizing the Egyptian temple. I was doing it in these magenta and purplish colors, so yeah, I'm not. I was waiting for more meaning, but I wrote it down for journaling and meditation later.
Because we're letting go of meaning.
Yeah.
Meaning has no meaning in this world anymore. So the medicines that come to us, the allies that come to us, scorpions for the Egyptians, they guard the Akashic field,
Okay.
cleaning up the Akashic field. So the scorpions are not creators but tenders and very fucking good allies. So I love that you got into that, and yeah, I saw a lot of that deep purple in there too. So of course anytime I look at your room too, I'm like, oh, you're just basking in it over there, you fucking swamp witch, aren't you? Like I love and swamp witch said with the most utmost love of us little Louisiana roots over here that know how to like sink into those deep dark places and not be scared of it. Fuck yeah, Scorpio. Hmm. And the tails, I don't know that I've sat with the tail or the spine of a scorpion in that way too, so thanks for that invitation. Cool.
You're welcome.
I had a really interesting experience in that I went to um literally like a linear version of me. She was very regimented. Things were like clockwork, and she actually told me to get to work. And I told her I am, and we both laughed. And I heard, in all seriousness, with regard to reading and writing, this is something that she can aid me in. And so we made peace and kind of friendship, and we decided to continue a journey. And so we like held hands and we're in the cosmos, and we're looking for another aspect. And it wasn't hard because in the horizon there was just this big glow. And so we went there, and it was the ideal version or the ideal aspect that we came into. And we just sat at her feet. There was cool water, and it was just such a blessing to be in her presence. She was utterly intelligent, um, pure, highly refined. And she said we were all alike,
Mm.
that we were together, yet we were distinct. And to harness the love, the lotus,
Mm.
and feel this all together.
Mm. As you read those traits, Kelly, I'm like, how is she different than you? Luminous, refined, purified, intelligent. Uh-huh. 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 Um, Cool. Yeah, I didn't expect any of that this morning, so hopefully you found something in there too, Cal, that
It was a big reveal. Big reveal. Thank you.
oh my
Thank
God,
you
I
for
love
the capacity,
you.
the space.
Hey Cal, did you finally retire? Are you finally done?
I am. I've given it up. I'm going to be launching my own business, Pine River Rags.
Wait,
I'll
say
be
that word
making
again so that we can hear you.
Pine River Rags.
Okay.
I'll be making backpacks and totes and drum bags and things from recycled and donated materials.
Well, as soon as that's ready to go, make sure that we all know so that we can support you and share it, please. So that's always where you can drop it in for us too.
Thank you, my beautiful
Oh,
friend.
honey, I love you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Love you too, immensely.
Mm.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. While y'all are still here, I want to just introduce Joy, who may not come on today, but Joy is my new social media assistant. So whenever you're seeing things that are coming through that are new, it's because I don't fucking know how, and Joy does and desires to. So thank you, Joy, for being here. Thanks for.
Namaste.
Hi, thank you so much for inviting me into your space today. That was just a wonderful meditation, though. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Okay. I guess I'll share. I wasn't going to, but I but it feels important. Um, I well, first of all, um, who was it? Amy talking about Scorpion and Scorpio that I am. Like was like there was something that connected. At first I had a hard time going in. There was so much going on out here. Just little chipmunks running around me. Um, and then finally, when I was able to go in, I was shown that I work with the inversion. The artwork that I do is all about mirroring and inversions and finding those mirrors. And then when she was talking about the scorpion or scorpions, um, just thinking about how they're perfectly mirrored
Mm.
and how we are, all of us show up, like all organic material shows up as mirror. Um, so working with that in the version of myself being within me,
Hmm.
and stuff was coming up around it in my physical body where it felt uncomfortable. Um, so it felt like things had to move in those places, and I don't really have words to 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 grasp around that. But what was really just important was the artwork that I do is already working with the inversions, which should be obvious, but it wasn't completely obvious until this meditation. And just about all of it being wholeness, like coming into wholeness, and all of it just being parts of the whole.
Well, and it was funny, Danielle, because I knew as we were coming back, like not everybody may have like flipped it like I did. And so they kind of like showed me your art in that way too, that like some of us like may spiral back in, some of us may like blah, 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 blah. So it wasn't so directive of like this is what we've all done. We've all got yeah, I saw your art in there. Cool. I didn't recognize it was your art until you said it. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, of course it was. Of course it was.
And I didn't recognize it until I was shown it first as butterfly wings, and the wings just be like, whoop,
Mm, yep.
being like, oh, the mirror and the inversion, and it's all there, and it's all part of the whole.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of allyship in there today, all part of the whole in that way too, where I got down to these places of me. Um, And I'm like, what are you here for? And they're like, oh my God, I can help you with so much. And I was like, I didn't even know you were here. So yeah, I think the revelation of that today was pretty fucking sweet too. Thanks, sis. Also, Danielle, while I was in there, I was, I was alternate version of me calling the retreat center to see if we can get a retreat set up in February. So I'll be on that today or tomorrow because leading live events is what feels really good. Not that this doesn't feel good, but like in person, it's just amplified in a different way. So I think Danielle and I are trying to bring something in for the fall or for the winter too.
Sounds good. I'm in.
Yep, 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 yep.
If it validates any of what everyone else has shared, I usually pull cards, like 3 from this Lemurian deck that I have.
Oh, cool.
And uh, when you had talked about the inversion, I like was trying to imagine what that would mean. So like I was having trouble kind of trying to understand what you meant. But then as soon as you said mirror, was when mirror came into my head. But the first card that I pulled is kind of like the essence of that, if you see
Oh,
that sign. And also heavy Scorpio energy and the violet flame. So when you were describing like the colors of going through those the different Shenkas, I was only seeing purple, just all purple. And this card's kind of like about like clearing, using the violet flame to like clear and unearth all the things that are inside you. And so that was kind of cool. I think Amy had shared that as well about the purple. And then Crystal Keys was the middle one that I didn't know what the meaning could be to, but I always kind of associate that with you, Andy, because I think the first time I did a session with a group session was the creator codes one, and it was kind of teaching all of those. Yeah, and so that was neat. But then also it has like different patterns of how you're trying to bring everything into the whole. Yeah. So like the directions that you were talking about of not necessarily going up, so that was
it's really cool.
came through later after everyone started sharing. So yeah, that's fun.
Thank you.
Thank you again too.
It's my honor, and I didn't. Yeah, fascinating. So I'm like, I didn't know that's where it was going today. I don't know that I did anything. I just listen. Mhm.
So in the inversion of everything, where I normally do try to go deep, today I did not. I just wanted to be here in community with everybody. I was up late with a puking toddler last night, so my inversion was last night. I was awake all last night, and this morning I decided to make a pot of lentil stew. So all of our energy is in my lentils this morning, and will
Thanks.
feed me for the next few days. So thank you, everybody.
What a sweet way we got to participate in the healing of the Aguilars. Thank you. Oh, your family's
Yeah,
not the Aguilars. You're an Aguilar. What's the family name?
Björky, the Norse.
You're so fucking cute. I'm like, I won't remember that.
That's okay.
True. Okay, great. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray Bay say. Ray Bay say. Anything to say?
No, not today.
I'm gonna try though.
Well, thank you, everyone. I needed some quiet space.
Yeah, it was good. Thanks all for being here. So yeah, we'll see you in a couple weeks and safe travels out there. Okay, I love you. Bye.
Big love.